Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Monday, May 1st. So welcome to May. Of course, the May energy forecast will be coming at you live here over the next day and all the zodiac forecasts to accompany it so that we can figure out what's going to take place in the run of May. Of course, we're still in eclipse season. We're still in retrograde season. We are reaching those halfway points. So there is going to be a pivot from looking back and kind of seeing what is falling apart versus standing still and projecting ourselves and moving forward. See what it is that we need to clean up, piece together, and bring to life. So we have the moon in this Virgo energy here all day. We will see the moon go void, of course, at 7:53 p.m., again, Eastern Standard Time, preparing to lock into Libran energy very early on Tuesday morning. So the Virgo energy, of course, still has us in fixing mode, solving mode, healing mode. We are definitely trying to create a organized situation in our inner realm. Our inner thoughts might pose as a difficult thing to do with some of the energies coming at us here today because, of course, Pluto is going retrograde. So there are 14 different aspects here today, a very busy day in the cosmos. 9 of them are going to involve the moon. So the moon right out of the gate is going to interact with Chiron, the wounded healer, in such a way that is going to illuminate for us what wounds, what pain, what trauma is still very alive and well in our faces, and what it is that we have to feel in order to heal. It is going to give us a different perspective, a different opportunity to kind of change the way that we are looking at some of the issues, topics, and themes that are creating obstacles, challenges, and blocks within our lives. But nonetheless, we have to kind of illuminate what isn't working in order for us to come up with a solution on what is going to work better for us. The moon in Virgo trines Uranus, the great awakener, who is in this Taurus energy. We get some earth on earth action here. This is definitely going to give us some aha moments, some epiphanies, definitely providing us with a new perspective, a new understanding of some of the situations that are definitely complicated, definitely putting us in a choice point. This Uranian energy does tend to kind of bring some restlessness, bring some anxiety even, because it's a lot of electricity to be holding in our bodies, especially being on the cusp, the precipice of making some major changes. We are definitely starting to see the greater, grander picture, what it is that we've been overly attached to, preventing us from opening up our arms, our heart, our head to some of these new qualities and characteristics that we're going to have to embody in order to bring new elements to life. Now, Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, ruler of information communication and how it is that we express ourselves, retrograde, of course, in this Taurus energy, is going to semi-square with Neptune. Neptune, of course, in his place of power in Pisces energy. This is definitely going to cluster F our thoughts. There's going to be a lot of fog, a lot of disassociation, a lot of confusion. It's really hard to kind of focus on the physical realm. We have a tendency to kind of slip into la-la land, imaginary land, daydreaming land. We're not able to express ourselves very well. We're not even understanding ourselves that well at the moment, so it's very hard for us to express ourselves with confidence and clarity, to have other people understand us. We're misreading, misjudging other people's hints and clues. We're kind of looking more into things than we actually need to do. And because of all of the other energies kind of swirling right now, it is going to kind of exaggerate the confusion, the misunderstandings, the lack of clarity that we got going on, and could potentially set us up to kind of get into some messy emotions if we're not careful. The moon will then interact with the true node, the north node, which of course is trying to show us the path that we need to get on. And this is going to bring an illumination on, yes, some plan, some strategy to move forward, but mostly where it is that we're still blocked, where it is that we're having a hard time kind of processing new information, processing our emotions, really seeing the options and opportunities to move forward in a different light. And so it can really highlight where it is that we're blocked and challenged, but it can also create a tension and a conflict on those blockages and challenges so that we can push through, come up with a new strategy on how it is that we're going to override some of these particular topics and themes that are coming up to block us from making any kind of progress in moving forward. The moon in Virgo will sextile, which is a beautiful energy, with Mars, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires, even our anger, who in this Cancer energy has not been in a favorable spot. We're kind of doing a cha-cha-cha. That water energy has us taking one step forward, two steps back. Just when we think that we're inspired, we're determined, we're motivated on a certain path, we lose all inspiration and motivation to even care. Now, this is a sextile, which is a beautiful energy, and it does mean that we are strategizing on how it is that we are going to move ourselves forward, on what we're actually excited and passionate to pursue, and we may gain a little bit of clarity on what that path moving forward is actually going to look like. The moon will make a positive interaction with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, blessings, in this Aries energy, really trying to push us to reinvent ourselves, to boss up, to create new opportunities, and really kind of tap in to the spiritual life lessons that we've already learned the hard way, pluck out those silver linings, those particular skills and talents, and kind of squish them up in a ball so that we can integrate them in the here and now and kind of avoid some of the messiness, some of the, let's say, confusion on having to learn something new. We're plucking old skills and talents, old knowledge, old wisdom out of some of the hardships that we've experienced that, of course, have had a major impact on changing who it is that we are now. We're looking to integrate that, really apply it to our current situation so that we can move forward, grow past this current situation that we're in, but kind of fast forward through the hard learning curve that many times we have to go through in order to kind of realize, hey, I've been through something similar like this. Let's just stop. Let's kind of bring the past into the present moment to prevent some of that messiness into the future. Now, 9:43 a.m., again, Eastern Standard Time, we have Pluto going retrograde at 0 degrees, 22 minutes in this Aquarian energy. I have an astro forecast out about this, so go ahead, take a listen, do a deep dive into the details of what it is that we should be experiencing over the next 5 months of Pluto being retrograde. The moon is going to square with Venus, get into the boxing ring, kind of raise some tension, raise some conflicts in our heart space. We don't know what we want. Of course, Venus in this Gemini energy has us very kind of split down the middle, on the fence about a lot of things. We are trying to kind of rack our brains where it is that we can spice things up, where we can introduce new ways, new methods of going about our day to really incorporate a lot of stability, but happiness and joy and pleasure at the same time. Emotionally speaking, we are really analyzing our inner realm to depth. That's what that Virgo energy does. We have to break down the smaller details in order to see where the primary root cause of some of fear, doubts, and insecurities are alive and well within us. And that is exactly how we get illuminated to some of these particular blockages, is to sit in the funk, to see where the tension is, to see where the conflict is. And right now, it's very much in our heart space. The moon in Virgo will interact with the sun in Taurus in such a way that will provide us a little bit of an opportunity to see different paths unfold. Of course, the moon, our emotions, our heart space, very connected to the past. That's why this Virgo energy is having us look back to see what it is in our circumstances, in our emotional or mental realm, that's actually preventing us from moving forward. While the sun shining a bright light in this Taurus energy on what it is that we want to build, what it is that we want to create, where it is that we have to nurture ourselves, get back to the very basics of what provides us with safety, security, stability, happiness, joy, pleasure, and even more than that, nurturing. It's all about seeing where it is right now that we have to create something new, and we are looking back to see what isn't working in order to come up with an alternative on what could be a better routine, relationship, or financial situation for us, all depending on the elements, the physical circumstances that are currently crumbling. The moon will then interact with Mercury. Mercury, of course, rules over this Virgo energy, so there is a little bit of an intensity here. And basically, our heart and our head will be illuminated, where it is that we're not on the same page, where it is that we have to take a little bit more action to bridge the gap between what it is that we're feeling versus what it is that we are thinking. And it's a very interesting point in time to have this inner conflict kind of rise to the surface of our awareness, because Mercury goes ahead, comes up to, bumps into the sun. So this is what's called a chasmy, and this is basically when a planet gets so close to the sun that the energies get blurred together. Now, what this does is, first of all, it marks a very pivotal point in Mercury's retrograde. We are essentially stopping from being so immersed in the past to really ground and root here in the present moment and really start pushing ourselves to think about how it is that we're going to progress and actually move forward. So this is an aha moment. This is when our mental plane is very sharp, very alert, very clear for the first time in a long time. This is going to mark a very significant shift in our perspective. This is going to give us aha moments. We get a very small window of opportunity to kind of see the past in a new light and see how the choices that we are making are impacting our future and kind of revisiting some of those topics and themes. But this is a time where there's new ideas emerging. There's new goals. There's new, I'm going to say, insight on what it is that we have to kind of bring forth, bring to life, manifest in our physical realm. This is an awakening, if you will, an aha moment, an epiphany that will show us where it is that we really do have to override these old patterns, these old behaviors. This is, again, trying to get down to the nitty-gritty of where our egoic programming has a little bit more control than what it is that we would prefer to have. And because there's like this new perspective emerging, it is essentially changing the way that we feel looking back on some of the circumstances that we've already brought to life. So because this is very much in the Taurus energy of things, we're taking a look at our comfort zones. We're taking a look at how safe, secure, and stable we feel. We're taking a look at our relationship dynamics. We're taking a look at our finances and basically what it is that we need in our lives to feel safe, secure, and stable, but also to feel really good about ourselves. So this is a very significant time for aha moments. Not only are we piecing together a lot of epiphanies about the past, but how those particular circumstances are impacting the here and now and what we're going to change as far as moving forward into the future is concerned. The moon will then interact with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings, in such a way that provides us with a new opportunity to create something new, where we can push the boundaries of our comfort zone, where we can go out into the world, create new opportunities for us to grow and expand and actually integrate the tough love life lessons and experience, the wisdom, the knowledge, the skills, the talents that we've already communicated. This is going to definitely have a different layer on what it is that we want to kind of set up for ourselves to pursue as far as moving forward goes. The moon then opposes Neptune. So this is a time when we have a hard time sticking to the logical, practical side that the moon in Virgo would prefer us to stay in because, of course, Neptune and Pisces energy is very dreamy, very imaginative. It's not a bad thing, but we do have to find balance. And unfortunately for us, we will either be leaning so far into dreamland, so far into la la land that we're really setting ourselves up for disappointment because it's not realistic in what it is that we're able to achieve, or we are so stuck in the physical realm of logic and practicality that we're closing the door on magical and mystical experiences. And so we really do have to balance those energies out. And what we know to be true about this Virgo and Pisces axis is that it is a healing axis. So we are starting to realize where it is that we have to balance our physical realms with our emotional and our spiritual realms in order for us to kind of take the best of both worlds, meet in the middle, and of course that's where the magic is. The last thing we have going on here is the moon making a very positive interaction with the true node, the north node, which means that we are coming up with some solutions. We are problem solving. We're having some aha moments. We're seeing a lot of growth. We're seeing a plan and a strategy come into play, which is basically all that we're looking for right now is a little bit of clarity, a lot of hints and clues on the path, on the direction that we should be making, that we should be taking as far as moving forward goes.